You know, most of the people you think you lost, you didn't lose them when they left. You lost them a long time before that. You just didn't want to see it. I know how that lands. I'm not trying to be harsh with you. Just stay with me for a second. Because I think there's something underneath this that nobody really says out loud. And I've been carrying it around long enough that I want to give it to somebody. Pick one of them. The ones you're grieving. Anyone. Sit with it for a minute. There's almost always a moment. A real moment. You can feel it in your chest when you go looking for it. Where something shifted. Maybe they got quieter. Maybe they stopped reaching for you the way they used to. Maybe they said something offhand, but you brushed it off because you didn't want to deal with it and what it meant. And you keep showing up like everything was fine. Because the alternative was admitting it wasn't. And then one day they were gone. And it felt sudden. But it wasn't sudden. The leaving was just the part you couldn't ignore anymore. And I'm not saying that to make you feel worse. I'm saying it because I think you already know. And here's the thing I really want to tell you. When somebody says, I keep losing people I want in my life, the word that matters in that sentence is want. Not wanting people. I don't mean that. I mean the kind of wanting that grips. Think about a kid holding something they're scared to drop. They squeeze it. They squeeze it harder than they need to. And eventually they crack it. Or it slips out from how tight their hand is shaking. That's most of the love I've seen in my life. People loving each other like they're terrified of dropping each other. And the person on the other end of that, they feel it. Even if you never say a word, they feel the weight of you needing them to stay. And nobody, I mean nobody, wants to be needed like that. We tell ourselves we do. We dream about somebody who'd really need us. No, you don't. Try it for a week. It's suffocating. And you would run too. The people who actually stay in your life, the real ones, they stay because being around you feels light. Because you let them be who they are without making them carry the job of keeping you okay. And that's the whole secret. Now, I want to say something gentler. Because I'm not your enemy here. I'm telling you this because I wish somebody had told me when I was younger. A lot of times when we say, I keep losing people I want in my life, what we actually mean, if we're being honest, is I keep losing people whose presence made me feel a certain way about myself. And when they leave, it's not just them we're mourning. It's the version of us they reflected back. The one who felt chosen. The one who felt seen. The one who felt like maybe they were going to be okay after all. Because somebody was here. And that's a real loss. I'm not making it small, but it's a different loss than losing them. It's losing the mirror. And the trouble with loving someone for the mirror they hold up is the second the mirror tilts, the second they have a bad day, or they need something from you, or they become less convenient for you to love, the love gets shaky. And they feel that too. They can feel when your love is for who they're being for you and not for who they actually are. I had a friend years back. I won't go into all of it, but he was a good man, and I loved him, and I lost him. And for the longest time, I told myself the story that he changed, that he became distant, that he chose other people over me. And then one night, sometime in my 40s, I sat with it really honestly. And I realized I've been treating him like a function in my life, like a role. I wasn't curious about who he actually was anymore. I was curious about whether he was still going to be the person he was when I met him. And of course he wasn't. Nobody is. You know, people grow, people change. And that's not betrayal. That's the only thing they were ever going to do. So I lost him because I wasn't really present to him. I was present to the version of him I'd gotten attached to. And he could feel it. He could feel I wasn't really there. So he stopped being there. That one took me a long time. Not because I lost him, because I had to admit my part in it. And nobody wants to do that. That's the hardest thing in the world. So I'll tell you what I tell anybody who asks me about this. The work is not keeping people. You can't keep people. People aren't something you can keep. That's not even a real thing when you think about it. The work is becoming somebody whose love isn't a grip, whose love is a room where the other person gets to be a real, changing, complicated human being without having to perform staying. And the strange part, the thing it took me far too long to learn, is that the love that isn't trying to hold on to anybody is the love everybody wants to stay near. The grip pushes people out. Always. Every time. Even when they want to stay. The grip wears them down. But the open hand, now that's what people come back to. And one more thing before I let this rest. Because I don't want you walking away from this thinking you've been doing it all wrong. or that the people who left were just waiting for you to fail. Most of them weren't. Most of them loved you, and probably still do. You know, most of them are walking around right now with their own version of this same regret, wondering about you, wondering if they should reach out, wondering if it's been too long. Some of them will, and some of them won't. You can't control which is which. That's just how it goes. But here's the part I really want you to hear. And I want you to actually hear it. Not just nod along. You haven't been losing people. You've been learning what real connection feels like by feeling exactly where it's been missing. Every single one of these losses has been showing you something about how you love, about what you've been confusing for love, about what you actually want underneath the wanting. And that's not nothing. That's the whole education. I mean, most people go their whole lives without even paying attention to this. They just keep losing people and keep blaming the people. And they get to the end of it still confused. And now you're not doing that. You're sitting here at this hour asking the real question. That's a lot of people's entire life of growth right there, in just being willing to ask it honestly. So no, you haven't been losing. You've been getting thought. And the next person who comes, and somebody will, somebody always does, you'll be a little different with them. A little lighter, a little less afraid. And they will feel that. They will feel that they're being met instead of held onto. And they will want to stay. Not because you held on tight, but because you finally didn't have to. And that's all I've got for you tonight. I appreciate you being here. And if you find this calm and beneficial, then make sure to subscribe. I really do appreciate that. Now go and rest. And take care of yourself.